We're saying bye-bye to Bao Bao.
Yes, we are. Well, just goodbye from here in the United States. I mean,
Yeah,
Bao Bao's
she hasn't
totally
passed.
healthy and fine. The beloved panda at the Smithsonian National Zoo headed to China in just a few hours.
So, how do you ship a big panda to the other side of the world? And what led to this? And why does Bao Bao have to go to begin with? So many questions. So, Christy Morcom with Wildlife World Zoo joining us this morning because she knows all about this stuff. Hi, Christy.
Good morning.
Good morning. Okay, so we were just talking off the air. You said that this is very normal. Pandas born in the U.S. eventually always have to go back to China.
That's right. So a lot of people probably don't realize, but all the pandas here in the U.S. are owned by the Chinese government. So really, they're here on loan. And part of that loan agreement is that if any pandas are born here in the U.S., they do eventually have to return back to China to be a part of the breeding program, and they do that by the age of 4. And that's because a panda reaches sexual maturity between the ages of 4 and 8.
Well, so they want to breed them back there. So these are live pictures now, Christy, we're watching at the zoo. And I'd have to say, Bao Bao looks pretty relaxed. Oh,
yes.
And then we just lost her. And now it's gone to black.
There we go.
Yeah, but she's just kind of running around. So they have been preparing her for this for a long time.
They have. From the second she was born, they knew that she was eventually going to have to go back to China. So they've been working with her from a very young age. They've been working on husbandry behaviors to be able to monitor her health very easily, as well as behaviors that are going to help her transition to China. And they've been working on descents too. They actually have introduced the crate that she's going to be traveling in weeks ago. So Bao Bao's had plenty of time to get used to it, get desensitized to it. And I have no doubt that Bao Bao's going to be very comfortable on her 16-hour flight back to China.
It's a long flight that they have to prepare for, so she won't be tranquilized or given any sort of sedative or anything like that. She's pretty well adjusted to where she'll be. But how do they anticipate? I mean, that's a long flight, like food and drink and all that. What do they plan for?
Absolutely, and so much more goes into planning than you would think, especially with an animal like a panda. So they're going to make sure that Bao Bao has plenty to eat. They're going to send her with over 50 pounds of bamboo.
Wow.
That's 99% of their diet, as well as different items for enrichment, a lot of her favorite snacks. Her main handler is going to be going with her as well as a doctor, so they can make sure that she's comfortable. She's probably going to spend the majority of the flight eating and sleeping, but anytime you transport an animal, there's just so much that goes into it. You really have to take into account the time of year they're traveling, what the weather's going to be like, make sure that that animal's acclimated to those kind of weather conditions. And not only do you have to think about the specific species that's traveling, but the specific animal. How old is that animal? Has it ever traveled before? What kind of health is that animal in? So there's really a lot that goes into this.
What's a big deal about pandas? I mean, there's all kinds of animals. We always get so excited about pandas. Why?
Well, pandas are so iconic, you know, and the Chinese love their pandas. They were endangered. Thankfully, thanks to lots of conservation efforts, they are no longer endangered. They're only vulnerable, and their biggest threat is habitat loss because they're going to live in those bamboo jungles. And with their diet being mainly 99% bamboo, it's really important, and habitat loss has been such a major problem for them. But luckily, they've been able to reintroduce more habitat for these pandas to live in, and then successful breeding programs like the one Bao Bao's going to be a part of.
Wow, so interesting.
Yeah. Christy, thank you so much.
Yes,
Just a wealth of information, as always.
Nice seeing you.
We'll see
Thank you
soon.
for having me.
Bye-bye. And good luck to Bao Bao.
Yeah.